Hello everyone, and welcome to Action RPG. I'm your host Aaron, and it's Saturday, so you know what that means. It's time for our weekly news roundup for week 41. Lots of amazing gaming and tech news came out this week, and I'm excited to share it. As always, I will share my thoughts. Please feel free to share yours in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe to support smaller channels. All right, let's jump right into this. Now, I have to start off, of course, with my current favorite ARPG, and that is Last Epoch, who now has officially dropped 7.10. I don't know if I've gotten more than 4 hours of sleep simultaneously after this dropped because I've been playing it so much. Now, if anybody follows my channel and my build guides, I am actively working on updating all of them to 7.10 compliant, so that you are up to date with what you need to do for those builds, so stay tuned. Now, this is what they have added for 7.10. They have added loot filters, they have added changes to the campaign, changes in crafting, updated skills, and there's 3 new skills, new item sets, new uniques, updated regular items. They've balanced a lot of the skills in the game and different nodes. They have completely changed the defensive systems. They have changed some passes. They have changed some user interface, some visuals, some sounds, enemies, and they have optimized the game. Now, since I've been playing this, I have noticed anywhere from a 20 to 30% frame rate increase after updating to 7.10. So there's definitely lots of optimization that came with this game, and I think that's what they're really ramping up for right now, because we're 2 or 3 updates away from getting multiplayer. So they got to make sure the game's optimized so it can handle all that different stuff happening on the screen simultaneously. If you have not played Last Epoch yet, I highly recommend it. The only thing really holding it back is it does not have multiplayer, but it's coming. Moving over to Torchlight 3 and their State of the Game Week 17, which is likely the last State of the Game we will get before this game drops 1.0, fully launched this coming Tuesday, October 13th. That's right, Torchlight 3 is moving out of early access, and it is going to be fully launched across all of its platforms. Now, if you have not purchased this game yet, or you've been thinking about getting it right now on Steam, switching over, you can get it for its early access price of $29.99. Now, the reason why I'm showing you that is they have come out and said that this game, come Tuesday, October 13th, will cost you $40. So if you decide that you're thinking about playing it, buy it now, or at least you have a few days, because you're going to save $10. They also did their final wipe on October 6th. So anybody playing right now, or if you bought the game today and started playing it, you're going to get a head start on everybody, because the game will not be wiped. It's basically in its 1.0 form right now. So Torchlight 3, which used to be Torchlight Frontiers, it has come through so many iterations, and it is finally dropping 1.0 this coming Tuesday. Path of Exile continues to have a little bit of a bumpy start with their Heist League. I know lots of people that are currently playing Path of Exile. Some are saying that they love it, some are saying that they hate it, and some have decided to skip it, which I don't hear very often with a new Path of Exile Heist League. Path of Exile hotfixes tackle issues, so they did drop another update, 3.12.3, which is supposed to address crashes for the game. So that's really what they're going after, is really server stability. And then also an issue that prevents you from basically defeating the actual heist boss. Imagine going through the entire heist, you get to the boss, and then you can't complete it. So one thing that Grinding Gears is amazing at is, always putting out content and addressing fixes. They've been getting out 1/2 patches every single week to make sure Heist is as playable as possible, and they will continue to do that. If we switch over to the official Path of Exile Twitter, which is sad to say, a lot of news comes through Twitter. At the beginning of next week, we're planning to deploy another patch with a short server restart, which includes more improvements for Heist. While we prepare this patch for deployment, we want to give you some insight into what it contains. You follow the rabbit hole, it takes you here. What we're working on. Now, basically, this patch that we're going to get for the Heist League for PoE early next week will basically be focused on the alternate quality gems, because they've been having lots of problems with this league, and they have a list of all this here. I'm going to link this article in the description below if you want to check it out for yourself. The Path of Exile, get it together. The time has come. Baldurs Gate 3 officially dropped early access on Steam for $60 and is playable right now. This channel, Action RPG, has literally covered every single update or rumor about BG3 from its inception. And now we're at the part where we can actually play it. Now, BG3, at least from forums and Steam reviews, it's actually a little bit of a mixed bag, but one thing is undeniable. This game, from a visual perspective, is the most gorgeous and most detailed RPG ever made, and that includes character creation. The game is absolutely stunning. Now, some of the things that people don't like is they say it's boring. They're saying it's actually really, really hard, so you have to save every 2 minutes so you don't have to backtrack too far, that the interactions with the NPCs feel really stale, and they don't think that the decisions you make actually do enough for the actual progression of the game. It's literally early access week 1, so that's stuff that you're going to have and stuff that they're going to fix. So visuals and stability are there. Obviously now it's just working on gameplay, and they are already working on that based upon what they're getting from their side and statistics, because they've dropped hotfix 1, hotfix 2, and hotfix 3. So they really are updating this game in real time based upon what they are seeing. Now, lastly, before we move off BG3, I just wanted to read this tweet from Sven, who's the CEO of the company. Our sales are insane. This is just early access, you all. We just wanted to have a little nice community to iterate with. Now what are we going to do? Honestly, if you go to game websites right now, all you see is BG3. Like, the game is blowing up. But ultimately, this is Sven saying that right now, we're giving them too much money. BG3, I'm excited to see what the future holds for you. Moving over to the world of tech, AMD this week revealed its new 4th generation Ryzen CPUs and is currently claiming the world's fastest gaming CPU. Now, since AMD has been out, Intel has always held that mantle. Now, recently, since Ryzen has dropped its first 3 iterations from a multitasking perspective, from a content creation and a rendering point, AMD has been winning in that arena, but never gaming, and they are claiming that is now changing. So if you go down here, there's 4 new CPUs dropping November 5th. There's the 5600X, 5800X, 5900X, and 5950. Now, the prices for these new lineup of 4th gen Ryzen processors are all going up 50. So it's going to be a starting price at $299, then go up to $450, then $550, then $799. Now, what they are trying to compete with, or at least they're saying based upon the AMD benchmarks, which I don't trust, I want to see my own third-party benchmarks and people that I trust, are saying that their 5900X, their $550 chip, is the world's fastest gaming processor you can get. And what they're going after is the i9 10th generation 900K, Intel's flagship bread and butter CPU. Now, the reason why they're testing all the benchmarks against the 5900 and not the 5950, because obviously the 5950 is faster than the 5900, is because they know not many people are willing to spend $800 on that CPU. They say that is really only for the enthusiast, but ultimately the 5900 right now is what they are claiming is the world's fastest gaming CPU. So November 5th, we are going to have to wait and see if what they are saying is truly accurate. Now, it wouldn't be fair if we didn't talk Intel, since I always talk up AMD. So let's see what's going on their front. Check this out. Intel drums up its 11th generation Rocket Lake CPUs before the Ryzen reveal. They don't want us jazzed for Team Red, so they're going to give us a little sneak peek about what's coming out on the Intel front. You may be thinking about the 10th generation of desktop processors arrived last May. Therefore, it seems a bit early for Intel to be talking about the next generation of desktop CPUs. You would be right in both regards, but AMD's resurgence shows that Intel needs to get back on track with innovation and better product launches if it wants to remain competitive. Intel knows this, and that's why we're already hearing about the latest and greatest thing. Now, switching over to Medium, where John Bonini, Intel's VP, wrote this very long article. Intel's commitment to gaming and a sneak peek at the Intel technology to come. Now, when you read through this, we're having a hard year, everybody's having a hard year, everything's different, we're all working from home. Yeah. You've heard it literally 1,000 times in 2020, which comes to this right here. Rocket Lake is coming. Our 10th gen Intel Core processors continue to provide excellent performance and stable platform for even the most demanding games. Ultimately, I believe there's a great 10th gen option that addresses the needs of every top gamer, from casual players to the most dedicated and passionate enthusiast. Though as you'd expect, we constantly looking ahead at what's next and how we can make our desktop CPUs even better. With that said, I am also happy to confirm that the next generation 11th gen Intel Core desktop processor, codenamed Rocket Lake, is coming in the first quarter of 2021 and will provide support for PCIe 4.0. It'll be another fantastic processor for gaming, and we're excited to close more details in the near future. There's a lot more to come. Stay tuned. So really, they told us nothing other than a new CPU generation is coming. And again, they want to steal a little of that AMD thunder, because right now, if you look through YouTube, if you look through the internet, AMD is blowing up, at least in the CPU market. October 28th, we're going to have to see what they have for their big Navi 6000 series GPU launch, see if it's anywhere close to the 3000 series from NVIDIA. But this right here says a lot. So obviously Intel may be a little scared right now, and it is really interesting for those that don't follow the tech market. They are claiming that the new CPUs for 2021 will support PCIe 4.0. In case you are curious, the last generation of AMD CPU processors works with PCI Express 4.0. They are 2 generations behind just on the one thing they are claiming in this paragraph. Intel, you gotta do better. The time has come. Cyberpunk 2077 is officially coming, and I am 99% sure this game will not get delayed, and we will get it in November. Check this out. Cyberpunk 2077 devs reportedly choose to work 6 days a week over delaying the game again. Now, if you didn't know, this game has been delayed twice, like everything else in 2020. But let me show you why I am very confident the game will not get delayed. CD Projekt's game will finally launch next month on November 19th for the PC, PS4, Xbox One, PS5, Xbox Series X, and Xbox Series S. After finally going gold earlier this month, the game will come to both Microsoft and Sony's next-gen systems on day one, before a more substantial patch gives Cyberpunk 2077 a bigger technical overhaul on the new consoles later on. Going gold. Now, if you've never heard this term before, what it means is that the game is literally being packaged and ready for shipment. It means they're actually producing the physical discs, and they are getting ready to ship this out to distributors for sale. Normally, once a game goes gold and they're actually packaging that final project, they are set for November 19th. It is very, 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 very rare something gets pushed back after they are physically producing the product. Now, what will likely happen is everything that they update on the game from now until November 19th, there will be like a massive patch day one, and then that'll catch the game up. But November 19th, mark your calendars. I am 99% sure you are going to be getting Cyberpunk 2077. Last, and certainly not least, we need to talk about Genshin Impact. Now, if you have not played this game, I bet you've heard about it. And maybe you didn't even know that you heard about it, because it is almost every other ad on YouTube right now. You either get Genshin Impact or some kind of political campaign ad because of the election. But right now, that is all you see on YouTube. Now, this game is an action RPG. It is free to play, and it is doing very, very well. It had more people watching live stream on Twitch than when Fortnite had when it initially came out. That in itself says a whole lot. Also, check this out. Genshin Impact makes $60 million just on mobile in its first week. Now, one thing about this game is you could play it on PC or you can play it on mobile. It's on multiple platforms and it's cross-platform, which is really cool. So I have been playing this game. I do have to say it does feel kind of Zelda-like, which a lot of people have been claiming that they copied Zelda. But the game itself is really, really fun. The mechanics of it, the game looks beautiful. But normally games focused on the gacha system do not do well in the West. Now, if you don't know what the gacha system is, that is basically kind of like a gambling loot box roll system, where normally the only way that you can make your character stronger or continuous to unlock new parts of the game is by spending in-game currency. And some of that in-game currency, the only way you can get that is through spending real money. That's why a free-to-play game has already made $60 million. The term gacha originally came from Japan, with the concept revolving around a gambling system. These games typically encourage players to purchase rolls or loot boxes, which give them a chance to obtain special items. Genshin Impact uses this system to randomly give players weapons and characters. Players can earn chances to obtain random items through gameplay, but there's a secondary system that allows them to buy in-game currency that can be converted into additional rolls. Now, do you have to spend money on this game to have fun? Absolutely not. Me and a few of my buddies have been playing. We've been having a whole lot of fun, and we have not spent a cent. But the hardcore fans out there are obviously spending money. If you have not tried this game, I do not recommend it on mobile. I downloaded it on my phone and on my tablet, and I thought it looked and felt horrible, but when I downloaded it on my PC, it made a huge difference. It felt like I was playing a completely different game from a visual perspective, from mechanics. It felt a whole lot better. I'm curious what you think of Genshin Impact. Is this a game in the West that we like? Is it a game that you're playing? Let me know. All right, everyone, that's the video. What did everyone think of our weekly news roundup, week 41? Is there any big story that I missed? Let me know in the comment section below. If you have not joined the official Action RPG Discord, please do so. We are approaching 350 members. Great conversations every day, especially around ARPGs. The idea is to create a gaming community that could jump from game to game together, so you never start the server alone. Link for that Discord is in the description. Thank you all for watching. Stay home, stay safe. Do not forget to join the official Action RPG Discord. Aaron, out.